Hi Stitchers, it's the Crafty Curator, Letitia, and again, you know I have issues with looking at the camera versus looking at myself, so I'm going to be all over the place. But I just wanted to upload a quick video. Well, I don't know how quick it's going to be, but I'm uploading a video. It's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. I have some patterns that I purchased from the Haid sale that I want to share with you. I also want to share with you some patterns that I downloaded into Pictopat, which I recently discovered. So I want to share those with you. And I have some stash and, of course, my WIPs. So this is an all-inclusive kind of update video. So I think what I'm going to start with is the patterns because they're being a bit difficult right now between trying to pull them up on my phone versus my tablet. It's just being difficult. So I'm going to do those first and get them out the way. So the first pattern I'm going to show you is from Pictopat. Pictopat is a free website. If you don't know about it, it's a free website where you can upload basically any photo that you've saved onto your computer, and you can upload it into a pattern, and it creates a pattern that's similar to a heaven and earth type pattern, no back stitching, full cross stitches, multiple pages, fairly large. Well, you can make it any size you want to actually. You can make it into any size that you want. Well, within reason, they have predetermined sizes that you can select from. And you can select your stitch count. I think it goes up to, I want to say maybe 18 or 22, I think is the largest. But of course, if you want to use linen, 32 count or 36 count or what have you, you can choose the 16 or the 18 count respectively, and then just stitch over two. You know that. So with this, you can basically choose any picture that you want and upload it, and it'll create a cross stitch pattern for you, and it's free. The patterns seem fairly realistic. I haven't completed anything. I know that Pam is working on one. She also talked about Pictopat. She's working on one with her Disco Girls, and the last that I've seen on her video, it's coming along pretty well. But I would love to see her progress so I can see it come to life, because I don't know what a completed pattern looks like, but they look, I don't know, they look fairly, credible. I don't know. But it's free and it's worth a try, so I gave it a shot with a couple of patterns that I chose. Now, I have no idea if this is considered copyright infringement, in all honesty. I have no idea if you're selecting a pattern or a print or some type of image offline that was created, designed by someone else. I don't know if it's a copyright infringement to upload it into this website and create a cross stitch pattern from it. I truly don't know. But what I've done, I found a couple of patterns that I wanted to download. The first one is just of a picture of one of my all-time favorite icons. I absolutely love Billie Holiday. And this is the picture that I chose on the Pictopat pattern. This is the image of what the cross stitch will look like once it's completed. Now again, when you upload the picture, it gives you different resolutions, whether you want to use less floss or more floss. You get to choose the image that you want to create. And this is the image that I chose with fairly muted colors, because I do love the simplicity of the black and white. But of course, it's not truly black and white. It's different shades of grays. There's even some blues in there. But I just love Billie Holiday. And I love this picture of her. So here we go. I've already purchased the pattern, the fabric. And I purchased the floss for it. I think I have done maybe 200 stitches of it so far. That's it. So of course it's a work in progress, but it's far down on the list of things that I want to work on. But eventually I'll get to her. We all know that eventually, what eventually means one day. I also have on my tablet, and I really hope that this thing works with me. It's been a little temperamental today. Another pattern from, it's a print, I'm not using the correct words, but it's a print of an image, should I say, from Thomas Phaedro, who does a lot of abstract art, and I really appreciate his art. I know that, I'm about to sneeze, I'm sorry. Gecko, excuse me. Oh, so sorry. Excuse me. You know I don't edit my videos, so I apologize. But Gecko Rouge has a lot of kits with patterns from Thomas Phaedro's artwork. But the one that I truly like, I love all of his work, but the one that I truly love is not available in a pattern. So I downloaded it onto Pick2Pat. And again, I don't know if this is copyright infringement, but this is I'm charging my tablet, so there you go. It's a bit temperamental. This is his artwork, and you can see it as a bunch of things. You can see it as a face. I see it as a man embracing a woman from behind, and I just love that print. So I now have that in a Pick2Pat pattern. I also have, I don't think I have all of the floss for this. I think I have the floss for another pattern I'm going to show you. But this is the Pick2Pat pattern for Thomas Phaedro, and this is the Cubist. So that's the pattern I chose for that. Heaven and Earth Designs recently had a sale. I think it was going through May 3rd as a Mother's Day sale. So happy belated Mother's Day to all you mommies out there. But I took advantage, I think it was 45% off. I took advantage of some of the patterns that were on sale. And I just purchased a few, so I'm just going to share them with you. The first one is very familiar. Everybody's seen this. Is the Quick Stitch Autumn Owl by Anya Kai. Yep, there it goes with the little Starbucks cup. I'm so sorry about this glare. There we go. The little Starbucks cup. That was my first purchase. I also, it's acting up right now. I apologize. I also purchased I'm going to mispronounce this. It's by Jen Deleth, Celtic Designs. It's the Pilipala butterflies. There's a lot going on in this pattern, which is part of the reason why I like it, but it looks like there are two girls sitting across from one another, and you can see their hair and their heads. This one looks like she has her hand up to her face laughing, and the other one is sitting across from her. In the background you see there is a butterfly, and it looks like, wait a minute, sorry, it looks like down below it's a mirror image of them over some water down here, and you see another little butterfly. So I just thought that this was really different, and I like that, and it was 45% off, so I purchased it, and it's now mine. Let me see here. There's a couple more Heaven and Earth design patterns. We have the Mini Peacock Fantasy. We have the Mini Iris of Gold by Marianne Broom. That looks like it's going to be a lot of confetti, but I just thought it was so pretty. And I also made my very first Hannah Lynn purchase, and that is Mini Aaliyah. So that should be fun. I have a few, couple of little younger nieces that might enjoy that, even though they might be 42 by the time I finish it, because we know how that goes, right? So those are my Heaven and Earth purchases. And finally, I purchased a music abstract pattern. I got this off of Etsy with my husband in mind because he loves music, but he used to play the trumpet when he was younger, and he always talks about that. So I just thought of him when I saw this. It's abstract design, and I don't think it says who it's by. It doesn't. It just says music abstract cross stitch pattern. So that looked like fun. And I purchased that off of Etsy. I'm sorry I don't remember what shop. You know, I'm terrible with uploading or including where I found my patterns at the bottom there. I'm terrible with remembering to do that. I just want to get the video uploaded, and I don't do that. I should, because a lot of people might want to know where I purchased my patterns from. So I apologize for that. I don't remember the shop where I purchased that Etsy pattern, but if I can find it and come across it, I'll certainly upload it. It might be in my on my account page. But that's it for my patterns that I've recently purchased. I also want to share with you my recent haul. I know my last couple of videos have been talking about the cross-stitch patterns that I purchased from China. Since those two videos were uploaded, I did have one more that came in the mail, and I also received a different type of pattern. It's not cross-stitch, from the Ukraine. I can officially say at this point that I am done with purchasing those types of patterns. It wasn't for any reason in particular. The last kit that I purchased that I'm going to share with you, it was one of those things where it wasn't quite what I thought I was going to receive. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I felt was depicted on the website. But I think what put the final nail in the coffin was the package from the Ukraine. There was nothing wrong with it, but again, it was quite a drastic difference from what I thought I was going to receive. So my purchases from those overseas AliExpress have come to a halt, and it's okay. I'm okay with that. I've been there, done that. I got the t-shirt. I have the experience, but of course I'm going to stitch them up, and I look forward to stitching them up. I'm just not going to be purchasing those types of patterns anymore. I'm going to stick with the patterns that I enjoy, be them from Heaven and Earth Designs or from Etsy or the kits from Gecko Rouge. But you know, I've experimented with the overseas packages, and it's been a fairly pleasant experience, but I'm done. So I'm going to start off with showing you, I don't know what's been going on with me. I bought a whole bunch of needle minders. I don't know why. It may not seem like a whole bunch to some of you, because some of you collect them, but to me it's a lot. But they were cute, and you know, they seem to suit my personal taste. So the first one, and I hope that this doesn't show up in reverse, but it might. The first one is, it says, "I haven't had my coffee yet. Don't make me kill you." You know, and she's just smiling, just as happy and pleasant, but she hasn't had her coffee yet. So, you know, tread lightly, tread softly. And that's pretty true to form. I'm a bit of a beast in the morning without my coffee. Sad, but it's true. The second one kind of reminds me of a chalkboard, and I think that's the intent, but it says, "Stitching Men's Soul." This is a really good one, nice strong magnet. While this one has more of that three-dimensional bubble on top, so it holds the needle, but it's not as secure. They just glued themselves to each other. It's not as secure as I would like it to be. It works, but the needle kind of sits and spins, and it's a little, it's makes you nervous kind of thing. But you know, I won't purchase that type anymore. The third one is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, who I absolutely adore. Okay, they're just gluing themselves to each other. And the last one is a needle tin, one of those, you know, slidey numbers where you put the needles in and it holds the needles. And there's a little needle threader that I barely use because I am a floss sucker. But this one, if you remember Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, this says Attack of the 50-Foot Stitcher. And it says on the top, she will tear out the whole town until she finds a needle. And I just thought that was fun. So I had to have it. So those are my little stitchy supplies that I purchased. I purchased a few more items. I do have, this wasn't my purchase, but this is a Lizzie Kate pattern, 100 years. And it says, 100 years from now, it will not matter what kind of car I drove, what kind of house I lived in, how much I had in my bank account, nor what my clothes look like, but the world may be a better place because I was important in the life of a child. And this, my friends, is my husband's. Yes, sir. This belongs to Mr. Crafty Curator. We went to Dying to Stitch in Virginia Beach, which is an absolutely wonderful cross-stitch shop. It's their local needlework shop. We have family that lives in Virginia Beach. So every time we go to visit, I always want to go to Dying to Stitch. And the women there are just so pleasant. And this last time I went in there, they remembered me and my husband coming from Maryland. They remembered, where we came from. And it was just such a pleasure to talk to them. And I've been asking my husband, trying to get him into stitching for a while. I was showing him the Save the Stitches with the block work, just showing him different types of stitching. And, he was like, maybe one day, but, don't hold your breath kind of thing. And then he saw this on the wall. And he said, now that I would stitch. Well, I'm telling you, I moved so fast to find this pattern. And I said, let's do it. So I found the pattern and I showed it to him. And he went over to the DMC wall and he picked out his own DMC. I took him over to the fabric counter and I said to give him even weave. And the lady behind the counter was like, do you really want to do that to him? And I was like, okay, maybe not. So we got him some 14 count Aida, a nice beige color. He kept it very true to what it looks like here. So it's the beige color with the exact same colors. And he said that he's going to work on it and he's looking forward to it. He hasn't started it yet. We've had it for a couple of weeks now. He hasn't started it yet, but I know that he will. He talks about it and it's actively in his mind. But it's funny, when I went downstairs, I asked this evening, right before I started the video, I said, hey, where's your cross stitch pattern? And he looks at me and he was like, why? And I said, because I want to make a video. And he looks at me with this look of disbelief in his eye. And he was like, you're not going to do anything to it, are you? And I said, no, I'm not going to touch it. He's like, okay, because I know you're going to want to, let me just get it started for you. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to touch it. He was like, okay, because I know you. I know how you are. So I was like, we're getting kind of protective of our stash kind of early, aren't we? So, thought it was kind of funny. But I was just so proud of that. This is his first cross stitch pattern. He hasn't started it yet, but as he does start it, I will share his progress with you. But yeah, we have another recruit. So I'm excited about that. Very excited about that. I even asked him in Ocean City, Maryland, which is maybe a couple of hours away from us. They have a Stitchers Retreat that is planned for January, I believe. So I asked him about a week or so. I said, hey, what do you think about us going to a Stitchers Retreat? And he kind of looked at me. He was like, maybe. I would go with you, but I don't know if I would stitch. I was like, you never know. You might get into this. And he was like, you're pretty excited about that, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, that would actually be pretty awesome. My husband joining me on a stitchers retreat, that'd be great. I've never been on one, but that would be kind of fun. This package, I don't have the pattern yet. I ordered this from 123 Stitch, and the pattern is on back order. But when I called, the customer service was absolutely wonderful. They picked up like on the second ring, and they were able to tell me that the pattern itself was on back order, and they would arrive on Friday, which is 2 days from now, and then they would upload. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Once the pattern arrived, of course, they would ship it to me. So they didn't charge me on my order, but this is something I have been eyeballing. I've been eyeballing these patterns. I know that Tara has done one in Fudgy Mint. Mrs. Milky Barkhead recently posted her, I think she's completed it. I don't want to misspeak. I think she completed it, or she was showing her progress on Instagram. I'll stick those right there. And I left her a comment. I said, I've been resisting the urge to buy one of these Glendon Place dessert patterns. But the photos she posted were just absolutely beautiful because you could see the beads, and it was just so beautiful. And I said, I'm trying to resist the urge, and this isn't helping me. So she replied back, she's like, don't fight the urge, just do it. So Mrs. Milky Barkhead, if you're watching, this is your fault. It's your fault. I'm blaming you 150%. And I think for a number of my purchases here, I do have specific people I can assign blame to, and I'm going to. Anyway, I can't show you the pattern, but I purchased the Glendon Place tiramisu pattern, and I ordered with it all of the beads and the dinky dies that came with it. So I'm just going to show you fairly quickly. The dinky dies, silks that came with it. I received 3 in natural, which is just an off-white. I received 1 skein of Sullivan's embroidery floss, which is comparable to DMC number 225. I don't see a number or a color on it, which is odd, but it's a very pale pink. I think I received 2 of these. This is called Kunanura. I know for all my Aussie friends out there, I'm probably butchering that, so please correct me. This is called Kunanura. Ironbark. I received a couple of these, I believe, maybe a few. Nope, a couple of these. Ironbark. Nice reddish brown. It's actually coming up a little more reddish purple than it actually is. This is kind of a dark, medium rusty brown. Received 3 of dark chocolate. Two of red dust. Trying to see if it makes a difference, and it does, holding it against the black. That's more true to the color against the black shirt. That's red dust. And finally, 2 of chestnut. Yeah, it's more like it, chestnut. And then I'm about to make a mess. And I made myself this little crafty corner where I have my chair and my stand, and it's my little corner, but when I'm going to set up to do a video, I've trapped myself in this mess of trying to have everything around me. So one false move and it's all coming undone. So the beads I received were all Mill Hill beads. This is 02038, kind of a coppery brown. 02 035. It's like a peachy color. See two of those. 02042. This is a maybe a carrot, dark carrot color, dark orange. 00123. Creamy light gold, creamy white with gold undertones. 02042. Yep, I already showed that to you. That's the carroty color. So that's the beads and the floss for Blend in Place's tiramisu. I don't have the fabric for it. I might have it in my stash. I don't really know, but I have the floss and I have the beads, and the pattern will be here after Friday. I'm just trying to put everything away as I go, so the cleanup will be a little bit easier. This one I purchased. This was already en route before Coffee Stitcher invited Teresa Little Stitcher to do a stitch along because she was having so much trouble with her biscornu, or as Garrett said, the local needle workshop taught him, biscornu. So I'm going to try to pronounce it properly, biscornu. This was already en route, so I invited myself to their party, and I said, my first biscornu is on its way, so maybe we could all do it together. But right now, all I have is the kit. I haven't started anything yet, but this is from the Sweetheart Tree. It's the Cat Lovers biscornu. And you see the top, it has 4 little kitties, and I love the little paw prints going around because I am a cat lover. I'm a lifelong cat lover. I've always had a cat. And on the bottom, you see it has the 4 little faces. Now, and it has the little kitty charm, which is super cute. It has the beads and the little heart button in the middle. But I think what really attracted to me was 2 things. Number one, it's Cat Lovers biscornu, so it's perfect for me. Like I said, I love the little paw prints going all around. But this little tortie right here in the corner, you can't really, let me see if I can take it out. You can't really see him, but there's a little tortoiseshell cat. Also known as a tortie cat. I think I'm about to make a mess again. Alright, maybe this will be a little easier. Yep, there's a little tortoiseshell cat right there in the corner. And I have decided that I'm going to take that tortie and I'm going to put him all the way around, because the other cats are, there's a ginger cat, a little yellow tabby over there, and the other one is kind of green and one is kind of blue. But I'm going to take the tortie, and I'm going to make all 4 of the cats like the tortie. The reason being, my cat that I had for 20 years, my sweet left eye, crossed the Rainbow Bridge last August, and I spent the majority of my, not even the majority, my entire adulthood with this cat. I got her when I was 20 years old, and she passed the August after I turned 40. So I'm going to make little tortie cats all around, and this is just going to be my little memorial for her, to express my love of her and just think of her every time I stick a pin in it, right? But I just wanted to memorialize her a little bit. So I thought that would be a very cute way to do that. So what the kit comes with is the beautiful sparkly raw linen, with the gold sparkles all the way through, which hopefully are showing up. And inside you get your little floss. Get all the floss you need. Well, hopefully all the floss you need, because I've just turned 1 tortie cat into 4 tortie cats. And you get your embellishment packet with look at the little kitty charm. As Tara would say, how cute is that? So yeah, for you cat lovers out there, who knew? And you also get your needles, beading needle, and your regular needle. So that's the Cat Lovers Biscornu by the Sweetheart Tree. I ordered that from 123 Stitch. You know I love 123 Stitch. So, you know, this video is already half an hour long, so I have a funny feeling that all of you folks out there that love long videos like I do, you're in for a treat tonight, because I think this is going to be a lengthy one. So that's the Sweetheart Tree Cat Lovers Biscornu Pincushion. Next up, I'm going to save that one. Next up is the final kit that I purchased from China. This is going to be so noisy. I apologize. I'm not going to go through everything again because my last two videos were really detailed in regard to these patterns and what you get from them, what you get in regard to the type of fabric, in regard to the type of floss. But this was the picture. I don't know if they're tulips, magnolias. I think they're tulips. I don't know, but it was pretty. So again, it was one of these kits where it looks like it's the length of your full-length sofa. I apologize. Please forgive all the crinkling noise. Unprepared, as always. This is the floss that I received. As Pam would say, the hot mess of floss. And a little extra pack. Trying to keep things together here. But this fabric is much softer than the fabric of the other patterns I received. But yeah, this is the full-length sofa. Not so much. This thing is about 3 feet long. Not even that really. Maybe about 2.5 feet. It's not the length of a sofa. So I'm not disappointed by that because honestly that's pretty huge anyway. If you're going to do something the length of the sofa, I'm just going to fold this in half. It's a little bit easier. So this is the first picture. The first thing that kind of threw me, this is pre-printed. There's no stitching here. So the only thing that I'm stitching on this is the flower, which is fine. But it's not the full picture that's being stitched. You just get to stitch the flower here and this flower here, which is fine. I'll do it. And of course you get your little needles down here. I think this one is like $10 too. So, you know, it is what it is. But it kind of throws you when you're looking to get this huge project and, you know, they send you something that's nowhere near the size of the sofa. And I'm kind of put off by being misled like that because you never know what you're going to get. So it's, you know, I lucked out with the patterns that I did purchase. I'm happy with them. I will stitch them. I didn't pay a lot of money for them. And I got to experience firsthand what I was watching everybody else, what I was watching everyone else receive. So I know what it's like for myself now, and I have it, and I'm happy I have it. But I won't be purchasing anymore from China. I'm good. It's nothing wrong with them. I just don't like the idea that I might order something and I'm not sure what I'm going to get. I'm not used to that, so I have no desire to experience that. But what kind of put the nail in the coffin was this last kit that I received. I ordered this package from the Ukraine. I wanted to try Bee Point, which is creating the picture entirely out of beads. And I've seen videos. I can't understand what they're saying on YouTube, but I can follow what they're doing. I look at what they're doing, and I'm still entertained by watching these videos. So I decided I wanted to do bead point. And I mentioned this, I alluded to this in my last video where I said I had a package coming. I wasn't going to say what it was, but it was this beautiful picture of these two giraffes. It looked like a mother giraffe and a baby giraffe that were done completely out of beads. And I was so excited because I love giraffes. Love them. So I know that Carolyn mentioned that she had something that was coming up that had to do with giraffes, but she wasn't giving any more feedback. So I was wondering, could we have ordered the same kit? But they didn't have mine. I got an email saying that it was no longer in stock. So they offered me another option, and this is what I chose. But on the picture online, I thought that I was going to receive this huge, not huge, but this nice size picture. And I love the print because it was of these vases, and you know, it had a little, it looked like, I don't know what type of vases, maybe Moroccan or Indonesian. I'm really not sure, but I loved it. I just loved it. So I ordered it, and it's really small. It's so much smaller than I thought it would be. Like, this is smaller than a magazine. Yeah, it's just not what I thought it would be. I don't know how else to say it. And then with the beads, I've seen pictures with the entire picture embellished in beads, and the only thing that's beaded is what's in these little circles here. None of everything else is pre-printed. So these little beads in the trees, these little beads here, these little beads here. That's it. It's not the full bead point experience that I thought I was going to enjoy. And that's it. I was disappointed. And my overseas purchases have now come to an end. So I'm going to enjoy this. I received the bead pack. So I'm going to do it. It's just not what I thought it would be. I don't know how else to say it. I also received 2 needle threaders, and it looks like some beading filament. Ironically, I didn't get a beading needle. I thought that was kind of weird. I didn't get a beading needle. But you know, the lady was really nice. The lady, she emailed me. I purchased this off of eBay. She emailed me rather quickly to tell me that the giraffes were no longer available. And, you know, her customer service was excellent. There's just a drastic difference between what's depicted in the picture and what you get. And I've, you know, seen a couple of videos where people have gone through this. They've had this similar experience, but with the ladies that I showed in my first video, I didn't have that experience. They were a nice size. They, you know, I was happy. And then with the second package, I was equally happy. And then with these last two, you know, these were the kits that kind of said, okay, you know, honeymoon's over. So I won't be showing any more kits like this. I'll be showing my progress, of course, but I won't be purchasing anymore. So that's that. And I think I'm looking at my note card that is strategically placed on the floor over here. That is not it. I have some fabric to show you. There's going to be some shaking right now. I'm sorry. Because my iPad is sitting on top of the little wicker chest of drawers that I put my craft items in my little corner. So I'm trying to get my stuff out, and it's going to shake the iPad. Hopefully, as long as it doesn't come to a crashing halt and fall all over the floor, we're good. Okay. And I don't know what I did with it. I think I have it in the other room, or I think I might have it in the other room, but Nordley she showed a pamphlet of some Indonesian baskets, and she said in her video that it looked like something, it reminded her of something that I would like, because, you know, I like stitching patterns with the ethnic flair. I was able to find it on eBay. I think it was $5 or $6, and I purchased it. So thank you, Nordley. I have it. The first piece of fabric I want to show, and this is just fabric. It's a 25 count Lugana, and the color is, this is funny, this is for you, Carolyn, the color is khaki. Carolyn showed a video with one of her patterns. She was doing the needle worker from Little House, and she was saying that it was she giggles every time she hears an American say khaki, because in Australia it's pronounced, you're gonna giggle, Carolyn, cocky. So she says she giggles every time she hears us say khaki. So this is khaki, 15 by 18. I'm not convinced that this is 15 by 18, guys. Maybe it is. I haven't measured it. But it was a really good price. I got it off of eBay. I didn't pay much for it at all. And it's a nice little piece of Lugana just to have on hand. I also purchased a piece of 25 count Lugana in pewter. I think this is, now see, this looks more like 15 by 18. This is 15 by 18. I don't think that's 15 by 18, which may explain the price that I paid for it. I'm not mad, but once again, you know, this is 26 by 17. So they're not, the other one said that I just showed you, said it was 15 by 18. And when I'm saying that out loud, I'm actually realizing what I'm saying. So this is 17 by 26. The other one is 15 by 18, which explains why this is much bigger. It's, you know, I was going by that new math, I guess. I don't know. And it's funny, in my last video, when I was showing, one of my last videos, I was showing my chatelaine. And I kept referring to it as